Friend and sister, I want you to do something for me right now. Before I even say hello, I want you to take a deep breath. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Okay? And as you exhale, I want you to count. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. And I want you to count how many things are floating in your head at this exact moment. Like tasks you can't forget, people you owe a reply to, ideas you don't want to lose. You're like, okay, let me put that on a sticky note. Things you meant to do yesterday. How many is it? Is it 3? Is it 5? Is it 25 things? How many things? More than you can count, probably. Well, that feeling, that mental clutter, that constant low-grade hum of don't forget, don't forget, don't forget, it's definitely not your fault. It's the predictable result of asking your brain to do a job that God never designed it to do. Your brain was made to think and create. It was not made to be a filing cabinet. And so today, we're going to fix that. I'm not going to leave you hanging. And by the end of this episode, you're going to have a real working system, a real working system that pulls all of that noise out of your head and gives you back your peace. And the best news is that you can build it in the next hour for $0. Stay with me. You ready? Here we go. Hey friend, welcome back to the Organizedpreneur Podcast, the show where we believe that an organized space, an organized business opens up the pipeline for creativity. I'm your host, Aldrima, the Dream Harper, and I'm so glad you pressed play today and you joined me. So if you're new here, let me tell you exactly who I am talking to and what I do. So I'm talking to the podcaster, the service-based entrepreneur, the woman who is building something real on a real schedule, on a real budget. You're wearing all of the hats, you're doing all of the things, and here's how I can help. I'm an efficiency architect and a fractional COO for podcasters and service-based entrepreneurs. Whether you're a solo entrepreneur and maybe it's just a one-person business that you are running. But in plain language, I help you build the systems behind the scenes and the operations that actually make your business run so that you can stop drowning in the day-to-day stuff and start building the business and the life that you dreamed about. And today, that's exactly what we're doing. We're building. All right. So let me just kind of recap the series so far, because this has been and is a 3-part series and it builds on the last episode. So in episode 210, we were talking about redeeming the time, and we talked about the 2 kinds of time that the scripture talks about, the chronos time and the kairos time, and how stewarding your ordinary time creates margin for the appointed moments that God has for you. And then last week in episode 211, it was no systems, no freedom. So you definitely want to go and check out those episodes. We made the case that the chaos that you're feeling isn't a discipline problem. It's not a discipline problem. It's a systems problem, a system problem. And I gave you 4 foundational systems that every entrepreneur needs. And if you missed it, then either of those episodes, you just want to maybe hit pause and go back and listen, and it'll help you to set up everything that we're doing today. At the end of last week's episode, out of these 4 systems, you start with the system 1 first, one place capture system, because it's the foundation that everything else sits on. And today I'm making good on that promise because we're going to build together step by step. So here's where we're headed. 3 parts. First, the one place rule and why it's the only rule that matters. Second, how to actually choose your one place. And then third, the simple habit loop that makes capture automatic. So let's start with what a capture system actually is, because I don't want to assume that you know this. I don't want to assume anything, actually. So a capture system is a designated, trusted place where you capture every idea, every task, every reminder. Some people call it a place where you do your brain dump, where you say, okay, I don't want to forget this. Everything, or a place where everything lives the moment it shows up in your brain. That's what the capture place is. Not where you do the work, not where you finish the work, just where you capture it. The second it appears, so your brain doesn't have to hold it anymore. I know you know that feeling. Now, here's the rule that makes the whole thing work, and I want you to write this down. The rule is everything goes in one place. One. That's it. That's the whole rule. Everything goes in one place. And I know that sounds really almost too simple, right? But it's the simplicity that is the genius of it all. Because here is what happens to most of us. A task pops up into our head. You write it down on a sticky note, or an envelope, or what have you. An idea comes. You text it to yourself, a reminder. You put it in your phone's calendar, a follow-up. You flag the email, a creative thought. You start a voice memo, all of these different places, right? Stay with me. And now you have your important stuff scattered across 7 different places, which means your brain still has to work to remember all of those things because it can't trust any of those places to actually hold anything. Man, I hope you're getting this because this is so powerful. That's not a capture system. That's a chaos place with extra steps. And ain't nobody got time for that. Right? So here's the truth. Your brain will only let go of something if it trusts the thing it's safely captured. You trust that place. That one place rule creates trust. When everything goes into one spot, your brain finally exhales. Yeah, it goes, finally. It says, okay, I don't have to hold this anymore. I can relax. It's in one place. The mental noise quiets down. And that's not a small thing. That's the difference between being exhausted by 10 a.m. and having a clear, creative mind that can actually do the work God has called you to. Now, I want to address something biblical here because this really matters. Because some of you grew up learning or hearing that you should just trust God with everything. And you've kind of spiritualized your disorganization. Yeah, I hear you. Like, well, I'm just going to trust God to help me remember. I'm not saying that that doesn't work. Listen to me with love, okay? God gave you a mind, and He gave you tools, and He expects you to use those tools. Proverbs is full of wisdom about preparation, about counting the cost, about the ant who stores up for the summer. Stewardship is not the opposite of faith, it is faith in action. And writing down or writing the things down is not unspiritual. Writing it down is actually wisdom. Remember what I always say, we serve a God of order, and He's not honored by your scattered brain. Let that sink in. He's honored by your faithfulness with what He's entrusted you to. And your mental capacity is one of those things. The one place rule isn't just productivity, it is stewardship of your mind. I want you to let that sink in for a minute. All right? Let that breathe. Pause for a moment. Let that breathe. All right. You ready for part 2? Let's go. So, if everything goes into one place, the obvious next question is, what should that one place be? And I want to warn you about something right away, because this is where the 90% of entrepreneurs go off the rails. It's the app trap. And I'm telling you right now, I raise my hand right now because I am one of those people. I love apps. I love platforms. I love systems. I love all of those things. I love a good app. Let me research the perfect tool first. Let me try Notion. Let me try ClickUp. Let me try this. Let me try that. Let me try Asana. That really looks pretty cool. What about the one that everybody's talking about? And then 6 weeks later, you've watched 40 hours, a whole week of YouTube videos and tutorials, signed up for 4 or 5 different trials, and you still don't have a working system. You have decision fatigue, a half-built Notion dashboard just collecting digital dust. And hear me clearly. That tool is not the system. The habit is the system. I would rather you use a plain spiral notebook that you actually open every day than the world's most beautiful Notion setup that you abandon in 2 weeks. Done is so much better than perfect. Always, always. And I shared this. I have a notebook. I use a notebook. I love apps, but I use my one place system is my notebook. And then it goes to my calendar if it's an appointment, because I like the notifications. So you may be saying, well, how do I actually choose? Well, I'm going to walk you through 3 honest questions, and I want you to answer them out loud as I ask them. Question 1. Where do you already go? Where do you already go? Don't pick a brand new shiny thing. That's part of the problem. Pick something you already open up every day without thinking about it. If you're constantly in your notes app, that's your one place. If you live in the Google Docs, maybe a single document called Brain. If you have a notebook on your desk, like I do, just use it. That's it. The best system is the one that you'll actually use. And the one you'll use is the one that fits where you already are. Don't make this harder than it has to be. So that was question 1. Where do you already go? Question 2 is it always with you? And I'm going to tell you right now, my notebook is always with me. It's always with me because I want to have a place that is available whenever an idea hits. My notebook is actually on my bedside when I go to bed at night. The rule is the place has to come with you, and available is non-negotiable. Okay? Yeah, I hope that made sense. Okay, so let's move to question number 3. This one is an emotional one, but it's huge because if you miss this one, you're just going to be in trouble. Okay? Can you trust it? Does this place feel safe? Will the thing that I write actually still be there next Tuesday? A sticky note does not pass the test. Sticky notes get lost unless you use it immediately. The back of a receipt doesn't pass it either. An envelope, that doesn't pass it. 40 different scattered chats with yourself does not pass it. Definitely does not pass it. Pick a place that is stable, that gets backed up, that you trust. Trust is what lets your brain fully let go. Your brain exhales when you can trust the place where your stuff is. These 3 filters: where you already are, always with you, and trustworthy. Those are the 3 filters. Run your options through those 3 filters, and the answer will get really obvious really fast. So, here are a few good starting options for the entrepreneur that's on a real budget. Option 1, stay with me. Your phone's built-in Notes app or Google Keep. So, I don't think they make this anymore, but I have a Samsung that has the Notes app inside of it. Anyway, where I can write my notes because my phone is always with me. Most people, your phone is always with you. And my notebook is always with me. But if I don't want to drag my notebook with me, if I'm away from home, then my phone is always with me, so I can actually transfer that information. Or I may do like an audio as well. But trust me, I like for my brain to exhale. So option 1 is your phone's built-in Notes app or Google Keep. Okay? It's free. It's free. And it's already on your phone. And it syncs everywhere. Okay? So that's a perfect place to start. Option 2 is a single Google Doc, and call it something like My Brain or Capture. It's free. It's free. Searchable. Lives anywhere you are. anywhere you have a browser, and that can be on your phone. And option 3, as I said, a paper bullet journal. No, I didn't talk about that. A paper bullet journal or a small notebook. I did talk about that. That's for my old school friends. This is for you, and it works beautifully. Option 4, if you want something that's a tiny step up, you can use Trello. I used to use Trello all the time. I don't use it anymore. But you can also use that, or a to-do list account. Todoist is what it's called. Both have free tiers. Both are simple. Both you can be using in under 5 minutes. It's not complicated at all. But again, you just want something simple. Those ideas are coming fast. So you want something that you can set up very, very quickly. And any platform that takes more than 10 minutes to set up, it's, please, let's not do that. We can graduate to those later if you want to, but today we're building the foundation, and the foundation is simple on purpose. All right, so okay, enough. Part 3. Let's move on to part 3. So now that you've picked up your phone or your one place, beautiful. Picked up, your one place. The system exists. But here's the truth. I have to say very plainly. The tool you choose is not what makes this work. It's the habit. It's the habit that makes this work. So let's talk about how to actually build a habit so it sticks. All right? I use a simple 3-part loop, and I want to give it to you exactly as I teach it. I call it the catch, park, process loop. All right, so you should have your notebook out by now, so you can catch this. No pun intended, right? All right, so catch. The moment a thought hits, a task, an idea, a reminder, anything, you catch it immediately. Don't filter it. Don't filter it. Don't decide if it's important. Don't try to remember it for later. The second it appears in your head, it goes in that one place. Right then and there, because you should have it with you. Even if it's just 3 words, catch it before it floats away into the abyss. This is the single most important habit you will build all year. You have to start building. And if you only do this part, you've already won. All right? So catch. Park. Once it's captured, you park it, which is just a fancy way of saying you let it go because you just put it in a trusted place. You don't have to do anything with it right now. You don't even have to decide on anything. You don't have to act on it. It's parked safely in its own parking space, and your brain can move around. This, my dear sister, is the part that gives you back your peace. Because for the first time in maybe years, you are not the system. The place is the system. All right, let's move on to the process. And then once a day, here's the process, or at least once a week, During your weekly reset that we talked about in episode 211, you sit down, get somewhere and sit down, and process what's in your one place. This is just so powerful. You schedule it or you delete it. That's it. Because sometimes you may get an idea and God may, drop something and it's for another season. But stewardship is a part of capturing it. That's a part of the process. Good stewardship, right? So sit down and process what's already in your one place. You look at what you've captured and you ask 3 questions for each item. Do I do it? Do I schedule it? Or do I delete it? That's it. 3 options. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it right then. If it takes longer, schedule it on your calendar. If it doesn't matter anymore, delete it without guilt. This is how the place stays trustworthy, because now you're emptying it regularly. Just like an inbox. Catch, park, process. That's the whole habit. Say it with me. Catch, park, process. Again, catch, park, process. 3 steps. You can teach this to, your grandchild or your child. Now, I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't tell you about the 4 mistakes that's going to try to kill your capture system. I don't want to do that to you. So, the 4 mistakes that will try to kill your capture system in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to share with you because I've watched this happen with people. And I want you to see this coming so you don't fall into that trap. All right? Mistake number 1, trying to organize while you capture. I can't tell you, when I was a professional organizer, one of the traps that people would fall into, even when I used to do these decluttering challenges, people would want to organize while you capture. It doesn't work. That's the perfectionist killer. You catch an idea, then you try, then you stop and try to categorize it, label it, color code it, file it. No, let's not do that. Please and thank you. Capture is the fast and messy part on purpose. Organize it later during your processing time. If you try to organize while you capture, you're going to stop capturing because it's too much friction in the moment. Mistake number 2. Listen, I know this is a long episode, but listen, this is going to bless you. Here's mistake number 2. Having a backup place just in case. I see this all the time, and I have been there, and I am challenged with that same thing. It's you just want to back up because you think, well, my one place is notes, but I also still use sticky notes when I'm at my desk. No, ma'am. Let's not. That's not one place. That's 2 places. And 2 places means your brain still doesn't trust the system. Pick one, commit. The whole thing, it only works when you are when it's genuinely one place. All right? So that's mistake number 2. 1, 2. Mistake number 3, never processing. If you only catch and park, but you never process, Your one place becomes a graveyard of forgotten ideas, and pretty soon it feels overwhelming and you abandon it. Process daily if you can. Weekly is at the absolute minimum. I can't tell you how many times I've waited, or I've made these mistakes and tried to do the processing weeks later. My brain is saying, ouch, stop. Process daily if you can, weekly at the minimum. And again, the place has to stay trustworthy, and processing is what keeps it that way. All right, number 4, and then we're going to wrap this up. Switching tools after 2 weeks. This is, let me tell you, this is one of my things because I love a good app. I love a good system. I love a good, thingy-mabob gadget. And this is the most common thing that happens. And I'm going to say this lovingly because I understand. Please stop. Stop going from one thing to another. The first 2 weeks of any new system is going to feel a little awkward. That doesn't mean it's the wrong tool. It usually means that the habit is still forming. Oh God, that is so good. Give it 30 days. Don't go shopping for a new app the moment it feels clunky. Trust the boring tool that you picked. Boring tools that you actually use will change your business. It will change how you live. Exciting tools you abandon will not. So I want to recap before we close. Okay? So the rule is one place. The habit is catch, park, process. The mistakes to avoid are organizing while capturing, keeping a backup place, and never processing, and then switching tools too fast. This is the entire system. And you may need to come back to this particular episode. I hope so. The thing is, you can build it today and it doesn't cost anything. And it will quiet the mental noise faster than anything else I know. So, let me just bring this home. Let me land the plane. I started today by asking you to count what was floating around in your head. And you probably realized it was way more than you wanted to admit. I want you to take one more deep breath right now and imagine what it feels like when none of these things live in your head anymore. When it's all captured safely, when your brain finally exhales. Yeah. This is what it feels like on the other side of this one simple system. And remember what we said, your mental capacity is something God has entrusted to you, and stewarding it well is not optional. It's faithful. Writing things down is wisdom. Building a capture system isn't a fancy productivity trip. It's honoring the mind God has given you. It's honoring the mind God gave you by not asking it to do a job it was never designed to do. I want that to sink in. So here is your one action step before the next episode. I'm going to keep it ridiculously simple because I want you to actually do it. So today, before you do anything else, pick your one place. Just pick it. Don't research more apps, please and thank you. Don't watch tutorials. Use the 3 questions. Where do I already go? Is it always with me? And can I trust it? And then just decide. Just decide. Then the very next thing that pops in your head, capture it. Capture it there. That's the start. That's the whole first step. And you're now using the capture system. So, if you know in your spirit that systems are exactly what you need, but you don't want to keep trying to figure it out alone, if you're already looking for someone or you're ready for someone to come in and actually help you architect the operations and the workflows behind your podcast or your service-based business, that's the heart of what I do as a fractional COO and efficiency architect. Come find me in the show notes. There will be a link. I would love to help you build it. So that's it. Let me leave you with this word because this is where we always land. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order. Decently and in order. That's what we're doing, one system at a time. Capture today. Next time on the show, we're going to build system 2 together, the weekly reset. And I'm going to show you how 30 minutes once a week can transform your entire business. You don't want to miss this one. Remember, an organized space and business helps the pipeline flow for creativity. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Have an amazing day. Brighter than the stars, crystal clear. Mic check, she's